Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So today we are in a Renault. We're in a Renault Scenic, Scenic 3 1.5 DCI. And we've got this on the dash, which is indicating, well, that the engine's going to imminently explode or something like that. So I've plugged it in and got the codes out of it. And as you can see on screen now, this is, well, the one I'm interested in is the one for the pressure sensor. And it's going to be a fault similar to what we did on the Movano van recently. I reckon it's going to be a blocked pipe to it, but less accessible. So yeah, not dramatic at all. You're going to die and everything. So let's have a look at where it actually is. Yes. So as we can see, it's not as accessible as it was on the van, and in fact the sensor is let's see if we can zoom into it. Oh my god, you can't even touch it, can't even get to it. But a few years ago I replaced an EGT sensor on this, and that was also very inaccessible and not a lot of fun to do. And if I remember rightly, all this shit comes off. So let's get on with taking that off and seeing how close it gets us to get into that sensor. I'm going to start by carefully removing that. Then I think this one just lifts off with little clips on it. Yes, it does fit out behind the wipers with some gentle persuasion and lifting the wipers up. And now we are actually quite a bit closer, but let's get this bit off as well. And with all that shit removed, we can actually see a lot better, but this is still causing a problem, so I'm going to try and take that off. Now I'm hoping at the turbo end it just pushes onto the turbo, but we'll find out when it don't come off. We've got a Jubilee clip there. Behind here we've got a 10mm, which is on a little stud with a nut on it. There's various clips for, there's a wire there, I've just pulled a clip off. There's this here. So let's get on with that. Yes. And now I'm hoping that with a slight bit of manipulation, this might actually come off. Unless it's kept to the turbo really strongly, which it could be. Yes, completely solid. It's actually bolted to the turbo with what looks like two 10mm bolts. So let's go and try and take them out.
Isa, turn the wheel, Isa.
And if we turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, then I can see this, but if we go underneath, then we can see that plastic pipe there. Hold on, let's zoom in on it. Then there's two what looks like 10mm bolts to get out. So I'm just gonna have to struggle reaching up from here to get to them, and you can just about reach them. There's one of them, and there's the other one. And now I'm hoping that there is only two bolts and that this is just going to lift off something. Yes, and that does give us a lot more access to this sensor. So we can see that if I put this down here, we have that clip there and this clip here. So I need to squeeze that and slide it down that pipe. It's not actually that tight, actually. I probably ought to do that with my fingers. Yes. And then I'm probably going to have to remove that clip, which, to remove that sensor, that clip slides that way. But it's quite stiff to get out, and I need some pliers. And I'm probably going to end up dropping it, so I'm going to try and take the pipe off and see if there's enough movement to take this pipe off and get to the pipe without removing the sensor. Yes. And now that's disconnected, I need to confirm what my suspicions are, that this pipe is blocked by starting it. But there's quite a lot of shit removed, so it might not be a good idea to start it. So let's start it anyway. Yes. Let's see if unplugging this helps, because it's not going to read any airflow because it's not connected to anything. Yes. And nothing. I don't know if you could hear me then because the phone went out to the engine, but nothing's coming out of that. And so it does appear that that pipe which goes to the DPF is blocked. So I'm going to try and unblock it. And the way I'm going to do it is I've got an old cable in it. It's actually off a Chinese Let's motorbike, so it's one of the best quality this. I'm going to feed it down there, and then I'm going to put it in the drill and twist it and then force it backwards and forwards. And so I've pushed it in and out a few times while spinning the drill, and I'm hoping that's unblocked it. So let's see how far actually it has gone in, because I'm not even sure how long this pipe is, but I'll hold my finger. It's gone that far in, which might not be enough, but let's try it. Nope. And that is exactly the same. So what I've got is I've got a new cable, or a new cable in there, because the end of it is spot welded, so it's not going to fray and get stuck. So I'm going to try and feed this down instead. And that didn't work either. Now I followed this back with my fingers, and the pipe comes to down here on what feels like a 13mm bolt. So I'm going to take this off, see if we can get to anything a bit better. Obviously I've undone that before putting it off. And you're probably going to have to do this by feel, but that DPF, the pipe, or the pressure sensing pipe, does come round there to a banjo. And the cable is never going to get around a banjo. So I think that's 13mm. I'm going to have to take that off. And I'll just try and film a little bit of it so you get a reference of where it actually is, but that sort of area, like in the engine bay sort of zone. And now, as if by magic, the pipe is off, and if we pull that out we can tell that it's blocked around here. So I'm going to try more of the same but going from this side. And that took a bit of doing, but now yes, we are unblocked. Yes. So now I've got to put that back in there and put it all back together. I'm not going to show most of it because it's just a reversal of taking it apart, but if there's anything interesting then I'll show you. Such as this, where I put a couple of new 10mm copper washers on there, and obviously when you're trying to put it under there, everything's trying to fall apart, so I've stuck it all together with a smear of grease just to stop it falling apart while I get it back under there, which helps a lot actually. Managed to get that pipe in and everything else, and as you can see it's now all back together. The only thing that were a bit of a pain in the dick was, well, that pipe, that was the worst bit, and putting the inlet back onto the turbo, but that wasn't too bad. It was just awkward to reach. So now I've made my way back inside the car because I'm going to have to reset everything. So pull that shooter back, plug our top scan into there. Yes. And then put the ignition on. And then we go in the top Guru app, find Renault, and then we let it find the car itself really, which it is successfully done. Yes. Let's just go on auto scan, and all I'm going to do is just reset everything so we can start again. So let's go on injection, and we'll just go on DTCs, read them, see what there is there. That MAF sensor shouldn't be current, but I've deleted them, and that should be done. And then now we've cleared all the fault codes, it should start without any warning lights hopefully. There was actually a permanent fault code then, which I didn't point out, but the MAF sensor I hadn't plugged it in properly. But now I have, and now it's not got any fault codes again. So now I need to drive it, make sure it's all alright. DPF might want to regen. It probably hasn't been able to tell that the DPF needs to regen for a while because the sensor's been blocked, but we'll find out when we drive it. So anyway, I think that's all for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and see you next time.